I was following the footsteps of my guide, having already parted from those shades, when someone at my back pointed and cried, "Look there! See how the sun's shafts do not drive through the left of that one lower down, and how he walks as if he were alive?" I looked behind me to see who had spoken, and I saw them gazing up at me alone, at me, and at the light, that it was broken. At which my master said, "Why do you lag? What has so turned your mind that you look back? What is it to you that idle tongues wag? Follow my steps, through all such whisper of you, though all such whisper of you, be as a tower of stone, its lofty crown unswayed by anything the winds may do. For when a man lets his attention range toward every wisp, he loses true direction, sapping his mind's force with continual change." What could I say, except, "I come"? I said it flushed with that hue that sometimes asks forgiveness for which it shows the asker to be fit. Meanwhile, across the slope, a little before us, people approached chanting Miserere verse by verse in alternating chorus. But when they noticed that I blocked the course of the sun's arrows when they struck my body, their song changed to an "oh," prolonged and hoarse. Out of that silenced choir, two spirits ran like messengers, and, reaching us, they said, "We beg to know, are you a living man?" My guide replied, "You may be on your way, and bear back word to those who sent you here. He does indeed still walk in mortal clay. If, as I think, it was his shadow drew them to stand and stare, they know already. Tell them to honor him, that they may be precious to them. That may be precious to them. I never saw hot vapors flashing through the first sweet air of night, or through the clouds of August sunsets, faster than those two ran up to join their band, wheeled around again, and, with the whole band following, came toward us like cavalry sent forward with a loose rein. "There are hundreds in that troop that charges so," my guide said, "and all come to beg a favor. Hear them, but press on, listening as you go." "Pure spirit," they came crying, "you who thus, while still inside the body you were born to, climb to your bliss, oh, pause and speak to us. Is there no one here you recognize? Not one of whom you may bear tidings to the world? Wait, won't you pause? Oh, please, why do you run? We are souls who died by violence, all sinners to our final hour, in which the lamp of heaven shed its radiance into our hearts. Thus, from the brink of death, repenting all our sins, forgiving those who sinned against us with our final breath, we offered up our souls at peace with him, who saddens us with longing to behold his glory on the throne of seraphim." "O well-born souls," I said, "I can discover no one among you that I recognize, however much I search your faces over. But if you wish some service of me, speak, and if the office is within my power, I will perform it by that peace I seek. In following the footsteps of this guide, that peace that draws me on from world to my own good." I paused, and one replied, "No soul among us doubts you will fulfill all you declare, without your need to swear it, if lack of power does not defeat your will. I, then, who am no more than first to plead, beg that if ever you see that land that lies between Romagna and Naples, you speak my need, most graciously in Fano, that they to heaven send holy prayers to intercede for me, so may my great offenses be forgiven. I was of Fano, But the wounds that spilled my life's blood and my soul at once were dealt to me among the Antenore. I was killed where I believed I had the least to fear. Azo of Este, being incensed against me beyond all reason, had me waylaid there. And I turned toward La Mira when they set upon me first outside of Oratio. I should be drawing breath among men yet. I ran into the swamp, and reeds and mud tangled and trapped me. There I fell, and there I watched my veins let out a pool of blood. Another spoke. So may the love divine fulfill the wish that draws you up the mountain. For sweet compassion, lend your aid to mine. I am Bon Conte, once of Montefeltro. Because Giovanna and the rest forget me, I go among these souls with head bowed low. And I said, what force or chance led you to stray so far from Campaldino that your grave remains to be discovered to this day? And he said, there flows before the Casentino a stream, the Acciana, which arises above the hermitage in Apennino. There where its name ends in the Arno's flood, I came, my throat pierced through, fleeing on foot and staining all my course with my life's blood. There my sight failed, and with a final moan, which was the name of Mary, speech went from me. I fell, and my body lay alone. I speak the truth. Oh, speak it in my name to living men. God's angel took me up, and hell's cried out, why do you steal my game? If his immortal part is your catch, brother, for one squeezed tear that makes me turn it loose, I've got another treatment for the other. You are familiar with the way immense watery vapors gather on the air, then burst as rain as soon as they condense. To ill will that seeks only ill, his mind added intelligence, and by the powers his nature gives, he stirred the mist and wind. From Prato Magno to the spine he spread a mist that filled the valley by day's end, then turned, it's still that same guy, and turned the skies above it dark as lead. The saturated air changed into rain, and down it crashed, flooding the rivulets with what the sodden earth could not retain. The rills merged into torrents, and a flood swept irresistibly to the royal river. The Arciana, raging froth and mud, found my remains in their last frozen rest just at its mouth, swept them into the Arno, and broke the cross I had formed upon my breast in my last agony of pain and guilt. Along its banks and down its bed it rolled me, and then it bound and buried me in silt. A third spoke when that second soul had done. When you have found your way back to the world, and found your rest from this long road you run, oh, speak my name again with living breath to living memory. Pia am I, Siena gave me birth, Marima, death. As he well knows who took me as his wife, with jeweled ring before he took my life.